Welcome everyone, Madman bringing another RSL video. So continuing on with our chronological technical reviews, what do we have going on? We currently have Community Week's Titan event. It started Wednesday, the April 17th, and it runs through Monday, May 6th of 2024. So what do we got up for grabs? We have up to a 4-star Lady Mikage Soulstone. My opinion, as well as several others, real quick, is if it was 5-star worth going for, 4-star it is not. You cannot buy a split soul stone currently in the market, so you're going to pull a 5-star if you want to get up to 5-star. So then what was the point of wasting all the resources going for the 4-star? Plus at 5-star, you get the benefit of the plus 75 resistance, plus 75 accuracy added to your champion. So while the crit damage at 4-star is nice, not as important for a Lady Mikage as that increased accuracy. Just real quick here, 150 points, get you some goodies, but still you got to get all the way to 400 before you even get the 1st-star. 750 points for the second, 1200 for the third, and of course 1750 to get the 4-star Lady Mikage. There will be probably a Summon Rush, probably a Champ Chase, and possibly a third, either Soulstone or Shard chasing type event. Anyway, I think the 2250 is what you could potentially get if you max it all out. Unfortunately, bonus points don't do any good for you. So, is it really worth it? Some of these goodies aren't as nice, for the amount of effort, energy, and resources you're putting into it. But so that is the Community Week's Titan event at a quick glance. Now let's go look into the technical part while we're on this page. I've already done some of this. So one of the events that started, I believe the day before, whatever, is the Burst Dungeons and Divers event. At 600 points, you get 25 tokens, and at 3,050 points, you can get 75 tokens for a total of 100 from the Dungeon Divers. How do you get this? Well, you farm gear. There should be gear grinding, not Dungeon Divers event, but Plarium will never change that. Anyway, most of us are probably farming stage 20 on normal or higher, up to stage 10 hard obviously is the limit. So you're going to either get 10 points for a 5-star rare, up to 25 points for 5-star mythical. Good luck with that. 90% will be either in the 10 to 20 point range. That's a pretty low drop rate there for 6-star mythical. All right, but that's the technical breakdown there for Dungeon Divers. Artifact Enhancement, moving on to that at 1500 points, we can get 25 tokens, and again, our newly found standard, well, I shouldn't say newly found, it's been there for 6 months to a year already now, but at the 4775 mark, we can get another 50 points. Again, leveling up gear here. So if you took a 6-star from 1 up to 16, you could get a total of 418 points. So most of your 5-star, hopefully just for the most part, 6-star gear is the only thing you're really leveling up. But with some of these new sets, you might actually be leveling up a few pieces of 5-star. Unless you're new as a game, then you're going to be leveling up pretty much 5-star, and hopefully not too much, if any, 4-star. All right, so Artifact Enhancement, that is now under the books there. Summon Rush started today. I am 2 days behind, so I apologize for that. Okay, 1,000 points, which is only 2 sacreds. You can get 50 points. You get a few more little rewards along the way, so nothing super great here in the beginning. The dust is not too bad. But then at 3650, which is a little over 7 sacreds, you can get another 150. So 200 tokens are coming out of this Summon Rush. You can get a lot of other stuff. Unless you're a spender, you've been saving quite a bit. You're probably not going to be doing this because they're going to be, I guarantee, a champion chase. There will be some shard pulling event later on, if not 2 more. Our points breakdown: 1 for mystery, 20 for ancients, 120 for voids, 200 for primals, and of course up to 500 for sacred shards. And this has been the standard for quite some time. Hopefully they don't change that. Okay, we don't have to worry about Hero's Path. That is over with, and that offered no tokens. Now let's go to the tournaments here. Sorry, I already missed it, but what I can tell you here is the Fire Knight Turn Attack. This was a 2,650 point limit to get these 50 tokens here, and this thing's taking forever to load, but let's see if we can go to info. That went a lot quicker here. So if you're farming stage 20, you get anywhere from 15 to 53 points. If you're doing 25, 23 to 80. If you're, say, doing hard mode 10, you can get anywhere from 30 to 106. And it's based on how many turns you take. So as you can see, I went ahead and maxed it out. Why have I not grabbed these? I don't really want to pull for any of the champions. I mean, I'd like to have the Falcon guy. But other than that, which is like slim to none chance of me getting, I'm going to go ahead and let these go to the inbox, and then I will have more available to me for the next go round. It's a take your chance kind of thing. Anyway, that's the point breakdown there. So we come over, it's going to be the same thing with Spider, and you either got a really good Spider team or you don't. So the Spider, that's why it's upwards of 3,800 for 50 points versus the 2,650. And I want to say 32 to 107, so slightly like one more point on the high end for a hard mode 10 there, which I can do in like 5 or 6 turns. So not a big deal there. If you're farming 20, you got the 16 to 54, so slightly again more points there. 25 is 24 to 80, so just a touch more points there, but you can see the points breakdown for the Spiders. So there you go for now. That's the Community Week's Titan event breakdown, as far as, you know, a technical view of what point thresholds you need to get to and how many tokens you get once you get there and what you got to do to get those points. We'll see you tomorrow. Next on the list, we have Champion Training Tournament, not event. And love how it loads so slow. So at 3850 we have 50 tokens, and at 9050 we have 100 tokens. We won't go into how controversial this kind of is at the moment, but so standard points here for each level that you rank up, whatever star champion you're trying to level up. If you're ranking up to the next level, standard points here again. And then if you're ascending, here's your points breakdown for ascension. And lastly, your skill tomes ranging from 25 points up to 500. And that would be the extent of the points breakdown for each item you do during champ training to reach these milestones. And then secondly, today we also have, and have been working on, Classic Arena myself here so far, and standard 390 points for 25 tokens, which is typical for all arena things. Whatever rewards is going to be 390 points there. Again, fighting in arena, anywhere from bronze up to gold, and for a handful of people, platinum, giving points there. And that is it. That is the breakdown of the points required to get the tokens you need for today. Moving on, we have Dragon Tournament, which is actually closer to ending than starting, but I did next to nothing in Dragon because I have been concentrating on Marius. While this loads, we can see 3,000 points during the Dragon Turn Attack to get 50 tokens here, and it looks per usual, a little less than I think Fire Knight and Spider there as far as points go. But there you go. There's hard mode points and stages, and then stages for normal mode, and the points requirements there. Moving on in our Community Weeks Titan event, we have, starting late this morning, almost afternoon, we have Ice Golem Turn Attack now on, of which looks like 2350 is going to be the limit here, if it ever loads. Yes, 2350 for 50 tokens. Turn our info on here, 30 to 106 on stage 10 up hard. And then, of course, our points for the other levels of hard mode, and then our stages of normal mode, yielding much less points for the turn attack, but you might be faster at it. So that is Ice Golem. And then we also have the Dungeon Diver event that started as well. And we have 25 points at the, or 25 tokens at the 700 point mark. And then we have another 75 at 37. So I'm a little shocked that there's only 100. Normally there's at least 150 and not 200. And it doesn't go any further than that. 7,500, trying to think. I want to actually say they bumped this up, because normally that legendary tome is sitting here, but this point total is 6,000. So I think they're trying to make it look a little better than it really is. Anyway, as far as Dungeon Divers go, yet again, still standard. Anywhere from common to mythical gear, and whether it's 5 to 6 star, or whether you're getting somewhere between the 1 to 3 range in campaign. Most people are not going to be getting 4-star stuff, but you could be in that crossover phase. Anyway, that is Dungeon Divers for this Community Weeks Titan event. Going further into the Titan event, for the first time in almost any day I've ever played Raid, there is not a single tournament going on. Very odd. Anyway, alright, so what do we have added today? We had Champ Training added. And you see I've done some. And was it 3,800 points to get 50 tokens? And then 7,600 to get another 100 tokens. Some extra stuff here, and your standard points breakdown based on your rank of your champions that you are moving up. So that's pretty standard there as far as champ training goes. Also, let's see. Dungeon Divers, that had opened yesterday, I believe. We also have Artifact Enhancement that opened. So at 1,500 points here, 25 tokens, and at 4,775, another 50 tokens, and your typical breakdown of leveling up your gear. And that's it. That's pretty much the standards there, so nothing has changed, at least as far as the requirements of getting the points. Your point thresholds, though, and or your rewards may have changed. I don't study that part of it too hard. I'm more concerned about, hey, because this used to be like 3,500 and now it's 4,775. So, and the points requirements might have been whatever. Have they changed? Anyway, there we go. We'll see what happens come tomorrow. As time marches on, we do too. And so we have had Champ Chase tournament go on here. And what do we have here? So we have 1,550 points for 50 tokens and 5,500 points for 150 tokens. And of course, if all is the same here, one for common and uncommon, 10 points for rares, 250 for epics, 500 for legendaries, and 1,000 points for mythicals. And of course, if they're voids, Then you get 50 points for rares, 350 for epics, and 650 for legendaries. And that is how you get the points during the champ chase. Then moving up here to the Fire Knight tournament, 2,650 points will get you another 50 tokens there. We got standard 30 to 106 on Fire Knight Heart 10. So again, you can just look here, and those are the points breakdowns depending on where in normal or hard mode you are farming for points. But that has kind of been standard. Not going to mention why Armand's or Armaton or whatever is not there, but whatever. Classic Arena, again, your standard 390 points for any reward you're trying to go for. Only 25 tokens. And then, yes, 14 points for Platinum, 13 for Gold 5, and it just goes down per level that you are in as far as Arena goes. So, still typical there. Nothing has changed with any of those, which is good to see. We already visited Champ Training and Artifact Enhancement. So, that is all that is going on. We do have Soulstone Rush. I don't know if they will have tokens in it or not, but we will find out tomorrow. So what's been added recently? We are in the middle of, so since Sand Devil has nothing to offer us as far as this community weeks, but the Spider Turn attack, as you can see, 3,800 points yields 50 tokens here. And if we go through it, pretty much standard points. This is like 1 point ahead of what all the other dungeons are. I don't know why, but so pretty much looks the same for Spider as far as how you acquire the points. Kind of stupid. I mean, I guess if you don't have these guys, fine. But man, wailing out like this, I can kind of see Spider because you can sell it and stuff, but wailing out like this to get these stupid rares, yeah. As you can see, I'm not participating in it because I don't really need to right now. I have a good amount of coin and I have too much excess there. Alright, we went over the Champ Training. There's a Deck of Fate that starts tomorrow, but what they did add is Summon Rush. And did they put tokens in the Summon Rush? No, they did not put tokens in the Summon Rush. So I suspect they will in the Deck of Fate, but that is it for now. Community Weeks continuing on, and up next is the second Dragon Turn attack, where at 3,000 points you can gain another 50 tokens. So pretty much a standard there, and it looks like pretty much the standard points depending on what mode and what level of dragon you are fighting and how fast you can down it. So that is Dragon. No new changes there. Now they threw in the Adventure Deck of Fate. I accidentally double clicked and opened up that, so that's where we're kind of at there. I don't want to go, I want to wait till the last minute. Anyway, and then in the Deck of Fate, 150 tokens are up for grabs. How do you get these chests? You need to get 1,000 points, and of course getting artifacts, 60 points for a 6-star mythical if you get that. So these are from normal events. These are beefed up, but and this is as well as far as upgrading it. Like 350 is all you get from a standard artifact enhancement, and I want to say just 3 points here. But as far as for the Deck of Fate, last time this is about a 20 to 25% drop in these point levels here for upgrading artifacts. So they're making it a little more difficult there. I don't know, I can't remember if it's a little bit of drop. I want to say maybe a 10%, roughly 15% drop in points as well for the artifacts you get. because of course they're valuing these rewards, since these are Slayer pieces here that are much harder to get. Obviously, you can only get them through the Forge Pass, and if you want to get any reasonable amount, you have to pay for the Forge Pass. So that is the points up to grab so far, and if you manage to get all 150 of these plus the 50 dragon and every point up in between, you should be sitting on 1,600 points total. And of course, our max points is 1,750 to get the 4-star Lady Mikage and all the other rewards before that. And I can't remember if it's 2,000 or 2,250. Somewhere in there is going to be the maximum amount of points you can acquire throughout. So not much that you could have missed at this point if you were actually going for it. But there is the technical breakdown up to this point. So we're coming to the end here, so let's go ahead and wrap things up. Nothing going on in the tag tournament, just rewards, no tokens here. So this is the Ice Golem Turn Attack number 2 event going on, tournament. 2,350 points will get you 50 tokens there. And for this, your typical clear the stages in a certain number of turns, and your points range depending on which stage you are on and which mode, whether it be normal or hard. So again, that's typical there. And then Champ Training Tournament here, 3,850 points will get you 50 tokens, and then you get another 100 tokens up here at 9,050 points. Since this is a tournament, you get your standard points here for each level. You upgrade whatever star champion you have. Your standard points here for ranking them up to the next level and that is typical there, but with, again, a tournament, ascension counts, so you get extra points there if you ascend your champions, and if you use skill tomes, you get extra points there as well. And these are all standard through Champ Training Tournament, so nothing out of the ordinary there. And then lastly, what we have going on is a Path of Light. And we have 50 tokens here and 50 tokens here. I'm not sure what the point total is. I'm not going to worry about it. You can see here. I'll scroll quickly in and kind of pause. And then another 100 down here. So you got a total of 200 available through this Path of Light. And that rounds out the totality of 2,000 tokens that were up for grabs. How do we get these points? Well, if you get anywhere from 1-star common equipment up to 6-star mythical, so you could be doing the champ training and kind of get in this area, or you could be doing some type of dungeon diver stuff and be getting points in this area. But the bigger points winners, or the faster ones I should say, are shards, with the exception of mystery shards. You're just not going to pull that many, but sacred shards, primal void, and ancients. These are bloated stats from your typical event, like, your typical dungeon diver stuff is not this high points. Same with your standard, like summon rush or whatever, not your typical points here, but it is pretty standard for these Path of Light events. I don't know why, they just kind of make the math fit. It still is pretty much equivalent to like your normal summon rush and probably a normal dungeon divers to a certain extent there. Anyway, so that is how the points breakdown goes per all these events, and what technically you need to do to accomplish getting these tokens so that you can get to where you want as far as this Community Week's Titan event goes, and reaching whatever milestone for Lady Mikage or other rewards that you want. Hope you enjoyed that. Have a nice day.